Look, solos is a scary place, and a lot of people like to play slow because, well, because they're afraid, and rightfully so, right? Battle Royales have a lot on the line. It's the most risk versus reward game modes, or one of the most risk versus reward game modes there are out there. And that's really the reason why a lot of people play slow. But here's my argument to that. If you play slow, not only are you wasting your time, but you're also going to take longer to get better at the game. And why do I say that? Well, this match is a perfect example, and you're going to see why I say that. But look, I want you guys to get aggressive, play as many fights as possible, and then and only then, when you actually get your aim and accuracy down pat, do you go for wins. But Vandal, out of 100 players, is now one of 67 left. And now here we are with Vandal with one of 17 players. So notice how he's gotten no kills in this amount of time. He's sitting on a train hiding for dear life. He's on a buy station, so there's a good chance your boy's gonna get pushed. And instead of watching where enemies could potentially be coming from, he's watching the front of the train. I know he's not in his map. Why would he be in his map? He's not practicing any strategy, but here he is. He's also using the M4, so your boy definitely doesn't have as many. Did he not see that guy? Uh-oh. All right, so the reason why I really wanted you guys to see this was just because he sat in this game for 19 minutes and did nothing but loot just to die. And I'm not making fun of your boy, not right now, but I want this to be an example for a lot of you guys who play super passive and you haven't gotten the reps in for fighting. That's basically what a lot of players are doing. I would say 50% of players right now are playing just like Vandal, and it's a perfect example. And I'm so glad we got to spectate them so you guys can see how much time is being wasted. I'd rather you guys be dropping and dying instantly going for fights than prolonging and wasting your time just for the same outcome to happen later on. Now here we have Grandma throwing grenades at the floor. Why? Because she's blind. Her age has gotten to her. And then she gets a beautiful Kobe. All right, honestly, the UAV is what saved them, right? The dude's laying in a bush. There's no way Grandma knew he was there, but because they used the UAV, they got the intel and figured out where a player was essentially camping. What's funny to me is look at this loadout right here, dude. Your boy's got a Cat AMR. And instead of posting up somewhere with elevation, by the way, this does have great line of sight down here, but instead of looking around trying to see enemies, he's laying in a bush. It's crazy. It is absolutely wild. And this is not a bot lobby, but again, solos is a very good mixture. Solos has, for a fact, the least amount of SBM ever out of any modes. So if you guys want to experience what SBM doesn't feel like, solos is the way. But okay, moving on to Grandma. Now we have a Cat AMR. See, take some sniper shots up. A little hesitation, holding their breath too long, and now they're running out of lungs. So look, when you guys are sniping like this, do not hold your breath until you're about to fire. The goal is not to hold your breath and pray to God the enemy jumps up in the center of the screen. The goal is to snap that reticle to the enemy, hold your breath, and then shoot instantly. All right, Grandma clearly has high alert, not really doing too hot with the sniper so far. But again, I'm not going to hate on anybody sniping. Sniping is definitely, it's not the easiest. There aren't many good snipers out there, and I always encourage anyone trying to become a sniper to, at all costs, well, we're just spamming these nades, take as many shots as possible. Bro, just go. Your nades are not, oh my God, he just jumped to your left. Wow. So right here, Grandma decided to precision, which I'm for, and we are a little close, so I don't mind the bail back, but the fact that we just turn around and dove right off is wild, because if we get the knock, then as you guys can see, he's going to self-res, and it's going to be very hard to get to him. So why even use the precision? We're just going to jump off anyway, just to down him, or pray to God didn't have a self-res. This is Warzone 3. Everyone has a self-res. But another thing too, and it probably wouldn't have mattered, maybe it could help him a little bit. Instead of climbing up the rocks, just run on the ground. Just run around, brother. Sitting here wasting all this time, slowing our movement, throwing this, throwing that, trying to figure out how to do stuff. We could literally already be up here with a nice angle. You see the enemy cross right over here. That amount of time we wasted on the rocks, we could have pushed to this rock in that amount of time and just caught him out in the open as he's clearly plating. That's his head, that's a plate. So things like that do matter. But here we are now, moving on and away from Grandma to Rager. I love it, I respect it, I identify with it. Rocking a, don't tell me he's got 1 kill, no way. All right, rocking 9 kills. All right, so Grandma had a decent amount, Rager has a decent amount. And again, it'll be very rare you guys ever see me make fun of snipers for taking shots. Shoot at everything. You never know what you're going to hit, what you're not going to hit. And also, in order to learn the lead and the snappiness of snipers is to, by all means, take as many shots as possible. It drives me crazy seeing snipers just lay up on a hill and just take 1 or 2 shots at an enemy who's clearly in the open. All right, Rager's just checking the edge right now, trying to find out where the enemies are. There are 5 enemies left. Good job switching the weapon. I think you could have had the MTZ out and still gotten the job done. I don't like that we just left our high ground though, but it ended up working out. When the enemy smoked and didn't see him cross from behind it, we kind of knew he was just playing in the smoke. I would have just held the rocks and shot down on him. But to each their own. Now the train's moving again. That means someone's on the train. Even though this man was not the one that killed the guy on the train, again, just pay attention to the map and you can kind of realize, oh my God, the train's moving. Here's a player. Okay, I respect the enemy for taking the push because he knew he had his crack. So the fact that he pushed up to this, I respect the enemy for. All right, I respect the enemy for taking the push. All right. It's a really great way to engage the fight. Unfortunately, Rager was just way better with his movement. And as you guys can see, he's a pretty cracked out player. I'm honestly surprised he's only got 12. All right, at this point here, I still would worry about the left. I would kind of just peek at the left a few times. There we go. Because, I mean, it's got the wall right there. And you know how people play in this game. It's going to be very slow. And, of course, the rocks right there in front of him that he keeps looking at, I would also think there's another player there. So he's just basically checking the 2 areas that you can almost guarantee enemies going to be at. How do we know that? Well, I mean, look, dude. If 2 players were over here, they would have fought each other by now and probably killed each other. If 2 players were here, clearly the same thing. So, again, that's why I come up with the 1-on-1 split. Granted, because of the rocks and stuff, there still could be 2 over there, but just make sure you're keeping your eye on both sides until we know for sure. All right, gas is moving right now. Now, I want you guys to also notice that Rager's the only one peeking. The other enemies aren't looking. They don't give a shit. It's wild to me, to be fair. It's completely surprising how enemies just don't want to look around. All right, here we are spectating level 3 jury and Lord Memory. You're playing duos, and this is a little bit action-packed right here. There's a lot of combat in here. I haven't watched it, kind of just scrolled through it to see how many kills they were all getting. Then I was like, yep, this is a good one to do. So here we are. We got people popping up on the mini map over here to our north-hand side, near the ammo building. We are still trying to gather money. Yellow's like, you know what, dude? Here's danger over here. He looks like he's pushing up, which I definitely don't mind. Again, you still want to try to get money, but if you have a team next to you, by all means, go ahead and kill them. You want to hit them by surprise before they hit you by surprise. I don't like that jury's pushing up without being plated. I also don't like he just randomly threw a molly. There's a good chance those enemies had no idea we were here. And since we threw that molly, that kind of alerted them of that. However, they are in a fight already. So this is a nice little third party. I love the fact we shot a little bit and then we played back. He bailed back. That way the enemy would come to him. Again, they saw that there was one of us in the doorway, and with 2 of them there, they felt confident and he pushed out because of it. And it got his ass killed. I love the patience play on that. Getting initial damage on the enemy and being able to, again, play patient, wait for them to come out the door and just take them 1 at a time. Now, if they would have 2-stacked him, that could have been a different story. All right, at this point here, the free loadout's gonna drop very, very soon, so we could just wait for it. We're not even nearby, so honestly, let's just go to the free buy. Let's just go to the free loading when it comes in. We do have pings over at this building. Not sure exactly what Lord Memory saw. I didn't see anything. He's heart beating, so it's got to be the truth. The heartbeats are making a comeback, bro. All right, we've got double pings up here again. I'm not really seeing much. You see an enemy crossing the street. This is a huge opening for the enemy right here. And he just doesn't stand a chance. Absolutely crazy. Now, I don't know if he knew, if the enemy knew we were chasing him or not. So we're not going to fault him for being in the open. But when the enemy was in the open and he saw 2 of us right here, running away was not the play. The only play you have in this situation is A, smoke yourself and then run away, right? Or B, play this. But he didn't have any smokes, clearly. At least I hope he didn't, because he didn't smoke himself. Play this. Your best chance in the open in the middle of the interstate when 2 people are coming at you and you have nowhere to go, no cover, no concealment, is to play the 1 piece of cover you have and fight. That's it. Will you die? There's a good chance, but you might surprise yourself. And also on top of that, it's a great chance to practice your shots and your accuracy. Can we please petition remove this dumbass shoulder cam thing? I don't know whose child thought this is a good idea, but it's not. We're spectating a pretty aggressive team, so they're moving across. They really haven't been able to do much, but some games are just like that. Some games you're running around trying to find enemies, you just can't. They track down this bounty from across the map, and here we are. The enemy is smoking themselves out right now, so I'm assuming they have high alert since we didn't take a shot, or there's another team shooting at them, so be aware of a possible third party. We do launch a cluster strike on the enemy. Here's a guy right in the... I don't know what the fuck this dude's doing. I forget how strong the DG is sometimes. MTZ is such a bad meta, man. You forget about that. All right, honestly, I love the play. I love the play. Yo, Jury just coming out, just showing up. So this fight right here is really hard to analyze because there's so much going on. We can't really see what yellow's doing, but notice how green goes one way, yellow goes another. They're close enough to help each other. And if the enemies jump off, green's right here to kill them. And if the enemies stay, yellow's right there to kill them, and we can flank up from behind. So there's a simple pinch from these two guys, put these enemies in a very terrible position. Now, it is weird that they did smoke out and stayed where they were at. If I were them, I would have definitely moved back to buildings. But here we are moving on to another team fight. I love this shit. I love the aggression from the squad too. This is just a very, very well put together squad, actually trying their best to play the game. Now that right there is a little questionable. The moment that dude caught you out in the open, I definitely would have bailed away. But it worked out because the enemy did not push that. Thank God. And not surprising. So the fact that we had that knock and the fact that yellow stayed with us and suppressed us put us in a position to really get that self-res. If enemy would have had 2 nades, yeah, we would have been screwed. All right, now again, another situation. We're flanking the enemy. Yellow's watching one side, we're watching the other, and there seems to be another fight happening. Oh my God, how many people in this house? Bro, it's that clown car. What are we doing, brother? What the what? Come on, man. But I would say they third party that, but they didn't. Honestly, I think a team ran in the middle of their fight. But here we are now, Jury rocking 8 kills again. Lord memory, I'm not sure what he's sitting on, but this is a very well-oiled machine. They're doing really, really well. And again, I'm loving to see the aggression. Now, look, I've been here 1,000 times. I'm sure a lot of you guys watching have been here as well. Once you start doing good, you get a little overconfident. And I'm guilty of this too, so I'm not perfect, but make sure you guys are staying a little bit of aware that other good players might be in this lobby also. These guys are dicking on some really easy people right here. But the lobbies are never perfectly SBM'd, right? You're always gonna have some sweats and bots in your lobbies. So just make sure you stay locked in and aware. A lot of times you start getting relaxed and you start pushing fights you probably shouldn't push because you're doing so well, and then you end up regretting it. All right, the awareness too of Jury just out there looking around. Look at the difference. You guys see this, the bot lobbies you spectate, and you guys see this, right? It's just a difference in player. It's just a difference in awareness. Instead of just looking at one building and running towards it, he's checking corners. He's clearing around him. He's making sure there's no sniper glints or enemies running in the open. Remember, if you guys are just looking straight to where you're going and you're not scanning the side, you could potentially miss out on easy kills of enemies running out in the open besides you. Also, potentially get shot in the fucking side of the head. All right, so yellow's pushing up right now. I like the fact we're trying to help him out, but yellow is in kind of a position. One, he worked himself outside the zone, which isn't the biggest of deals, but I hate low town. And that's the area he's going to, and I hate it with a passion. So what I would do right now, yeah, he just died. What I would have done is just held this area, right? There's no reason to put yourself in these positions. There's gonna be multiple teams in low town, plus this squad right here that's already stacked our teammate and put us in a position to 1v2 possibly. Again, we just mentioned it. Don't oversend fights you shouldn't take. We have a zip line right next to us. Let's think about just getting our teammate back, right? Let's think about regaining. I know he's got the gulag, but sometimes you're just better off playing a little bit of safe. You saw the enemy right there, peek on the top left, and you knew that was there. That's unfortunate. Again, we talked about Lord Jury and his squad might not be the only good players in the lobby, and there it goes. They're out. Moving on to Pwned and Owned. And he goes down 2 for another aggressive player, bro. What the hell? Let's go. All right, Toxic coming in, moving on. But again, that seemed, oh, fuck. Oh, shit, I was wrong. He's not, I mean, he was aggressive on that, but the kill counts got me a little, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Also, where'd all the money go? Our dude had 11 grand when he died. And I'm sure the enemy that killed him had money too, but some reason Talk didn't get any cash. All right, so we talked about how he needs to get somewhere to loot stuff. This is clearly not the place to be. There's one building here. I don't know what him and Kale have going on. Clearly Kale's pissed him off and he doesn't want to buy him back. But he's gonna die. He's on the edge of the zone. This is one of the hottest areas. Yeah, surprise. And moving on to ADZ. Now look, ADZ's got money and look at the difference, right? Talk shit or talk split, whatever the hell his name was, Mr. Talk. Had no idea what the hell he wanted to do. He had no game plan, no play of action, no nothing. Look now. I know, Savage is only buying a teammate back. I get that, but clearly it was too complicated for your boy Talk. Now, I'm not a huge fan of coming up here, honestly. But I'm assuming he's just going to try to float as far as he freaking can from this position. You're just pretty vulnerable going up that ladder. Got traces to the right-hand side. Good ping from our teammate. But ADZ coming up here right now, dude. If we get these kills and Ape needs the weapons, this would be a perfect way to get them. Now, look, when these enemies are on this hill shooting, they should be aware that they're making noise. They're bringing a lot of attention to themselves. So let's see what happens. Do they relocate or do we get some easy kills? And it looks like they relocated now. Yep. In the street. I like the fact we're not just shooting. Again, look at the patience, right? Don't just start spraying at enemies and let them know you're here. You want to wait till the enemy is vulnerable and you have a better angle before you take your shots. If we would have shot earlier behind the car, he could jump off the bridge and just ran away and waited for us and gate kept us. But instead, again, just a little bit of patience, a little bit of taking our time to perform sweet justice. Look at this dude. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But ADZ should be coming out to yellow that there's possibly a guy in the water because the dude was looking at the water and he was popped up on the mini map. Oh yeah, well, look at that. There's the enemy. That's crazy that we cracked him with 4 bullets. Now look, on the flip side, we got to be concerned about our backside as well. There are still 6 other enemy teams besides these 2 that we're fighting that could shoot us in the back. So we got to be very, very, very careful, or at least 8 does now, on playing on top of the bridge because you're very vulnerable. Enemies on the bridge. There's a team above us. You hear the footsteps. We need to be common to 8, but unfortunately 8 goes down. I don't know if ADZ heard him or not. Again, spectating footsteps are definitely a lot better than gameplay footsteps. Don't ask me why, but that's just the way Activision runs shit. They love just making no sense. And I'm guessing it was his teammate the whole time. Wow, that's incredible, actually. That sniper was back there on the rocks the whole time we were watching that bridge fight, and his teammate made it from God knows where to go help him out. But here we are moving on to Flux and Precision. Again, good teamwork by whoever the hell backed him up on the bridge, really just getting him out of a bad spot because he was definitely dead to rights. Again, in game, dude, definitely want to lock it in, play it a little bit slower, figure out where the zone's going to go, especially in an ending like this. You have multiple levels, you have cranes, you have rooftops, you have a lot of buildings and cover and concealment. You really want to play this slow. You don't want to just go in balls deep and start trying to fight everybody in the world, because if the rotation does not favor you, then the whole world knows where you're at. And it's going to be a very hard fight for you to get to the next zone. Again, just simple pings from our teammates, letting us know where the enemies are out. And this is a good kind of patient hold right here, predicting that enemies will come out here to try to take the zip and get in a better spot. And the enemies fell for the bait. I don't know if that was actually their intention or not. That's kind of what it looked like because they were just sitting still, not doing shit, but ended up working out. Unfortunately, again, a little bit of split. We talked about it earlier. I like the fact they were split, then they got together for end game, but then all of a sudden Precise went off on his own. And again, if you guys are splitters and that's what you like to do, by all means keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not that skilled, lock it in, play together, slow and methodical, play these endings, play the high ground, play positions. We know there's an enemy above us because your boy that killed Precise is up there. I don't like the fact that Flux Easy is just sitting here. I mean, he's got no cover concealment. The entire left-hand side of him can see him if they look this direction. There's a good chance they might. Yeah, you might get this kill, which is cool. Or this dude might know you're right there. Oh, it's your boy, owned and owned. Let's go. Welcome back, big dog. All right, let's talk about something before I talk about this. First off, don't push up to this. Look, this may seem safe, but we're on a high ground and our entire back, left, and right is vulnerable. This dude needs to get off this rooftop, and so do we. We are very, very vulnerable. Sure, it might seem like a good angle because you're shooting the guys over here on the minimap, but it's not a good option. Get off this rooftop, you're gonna die. Now, as far as owned, I really don't want to see him push this enemy because, again, not that I doubt his skill. I just don't want to see him get killed by a camper because at the end of the day, dude, a 0.2 KD player can kill anybody if they're sitting perfectly still watching a doorway or a window or a hallway. Oh, weird. Your boy Green went down getting shot from behind. Who would have thought? Who would have saw that coming? That's unfortunate too, man. That's unfortunate, dude. Owen trying his best to clean up the game. Is he? Oh my, so close. Had the flare anyway. Get the Dury. We gotta watch out for that Tim and Tatman skin that was to our right-hand side. Again, get off the fucking roof, bro. Learn from your teammate's mistake, man. Owen, you're better than this, big dog. You're better than this. That's just a bad time to reload. I don't know where Francis is going, brother. What the fuck? Regardless what you guys want to do, look, he needs to come back on these guns. Be like, bro, I got weapons right here. Land over here. Land on the weapons. That's just unfortunate, man. And now we're in a situation where it's a 1v2v2. We do have a durable. We could buy back our teammate again, although I don't think I'd want to. Yeah, and that's unfortunate, bro. And look, that's where smokes come to play because he had what, stems? If he would have just smoked to that wall, he could have probably played his life. And if he had a restock, by the time he had to get to the next zone, he would have restocked at least one. He'd been fine. But that's a bunch of shoulda, woulda, couldas. It's very unfortunate your boy didn't. Anyway, guys, GG. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's where I'll be breaking down my own gameplay.